Hey guys, we have made it to New York for this big gathering of all these different people from YouTube from all over the country. I'm clearly makeup free right now because we got up at 3 a.m., got to the airport at 5 a.m. because we had an hour drive. So going to probably grab some coffee because it's 9 a.m., head to the hotel, and then we'll be going around New York. So check in with you guys later. So you're going to see a lot of just really interesting footage of interesting buildings and statues that we saw around the city. Here, this is going to be a store that we just stumbled across that was a estate and antique store, and they had a lot of just gorgeous, stunning jewelry pieces here in the window that they did let me try on in store, but I couldn't get any footage of in store. Again, just another really cool view of buildings as we were walking around. Here we went to, I believe it's called Paris Baguette, and oh my goodness, everything in here was so good, and I'm so excited we are getting one in Nashville. I had a subscriber ask me to look at this Fendi wallet on chain, and I really wasn't impressed. It's too similar in size to the Bichette Felicie, but I really loved all these different options that I saw in Dior. That was the mini Miss Dior Caro. There was a Dior 30 Montaigne. This is another new Dior bag. They're great, but I'm not buying Dior right now. I then went into Chanel, and all of this shopping footage that you're going to see is from Bloomingdale's, and they had this absolutely perfect true gray wallet on chain and caviar in for fall, and it was a beautiful gray, but ultimately I just wasn't wowed by it. They then had this burgundy one that you're seeing here and that you will have seen on a lot of other YouTubers channels as well, and fantastic burgundy. I was really impressed with this bag and found it to be really beautiful. My footage in Prada didn't turn out, so this is actually footage of me trying on the exact same bags in Orlando. That bright blue one that you just saw, I am really in love with that color. We then went upstairs to shoes, and really the only shoe place that drew me in was Valentino, and I loved these boots. These boots in the chocolate color, which you see me trying on the brown right now, but in the chocolate was amazing. Then, knowing that Meredith was taking these as her shoes, I wanted to try them on. These are a 37. I definitely felt that they were narrow and that I'd need to size up to a 37.5, but I wasn't impressed with the color. Now here we are out on the Hermes terrace, and so you're able to see just some amazing views of buildings that we wouldn't have noticed from the street. The grooming tote bag that I really like is a tote bag. They now come in a red color, and I really like that. There were some just gorgeous, stunning jackets that you'll see here that I really liked, but honestly, I didn't want to pay Hermes prices for jackets. Tried on this swimsuit, which did not fit. And then we stumbled into Beretta, and they had like Ernest Hemingway's rifle in it, which was really neat to see that piece of history. But we didn't realize that they sold clothing, and there was a lot of interesting clothing pieces, such as this jacket that you see me trying on. Next, we went to Ralph Lauren and picked up a little beverage in the Ralph Lauren coffee shop, and I had some lemonade. We then went around and looked at a lot of the different just beautiful clothing that they have in for fall. This room is from, I believe it was the spring collection, and just really loved getting to see it as well as the fall collection in person. This was a super fun outfit that I put together. All the pieces combined with tax was like $12,000 or $13,000 for this outfit, but it was really cool looking. I do think that I can probably replicate it at TJ Maxx for a whole lot less. And again, it was such a beautiful day to walk around the city and just to get to enjoy being in the city. We did go into Celine so that I could look at the Victory bag, and while it's a great bag, I wasn't thrilled with it on me. I felt like it stuck out just a little bit too much. For dinner, we went to Tacos Numero 1, which they have a lot of locations all over the city. Blake and I loved this the last time that we were there, and Blake had tacos about 4 or 5 times while we were here. We did get the especial, we got grilled chicken, and we also got the spicy pork, and we have decided, after multiple different tastings, that we definitely recommend going with the spicy pork with the corn tortilla. 5 out of 5 recommendation for us for Los Tacos Numero 1. And then we did a bit more strolling, wandered around NYU's campus, and I believe this is Washington Square Park. and we just had a really good time enjoying the park. Saw this guy who apparently his thing is coming in the afternoon to the park and balancing things on his head while he rides his bicycle. Here you're gonna see him riding around with a sofa on the pavement, and then in a second you are going to see him doing the same thing but in the water in the fountain, which was pretty impressive.
Hey, he's got it. Yeah.
Early Michael Jackson vibe.
Yeah, it's not my favorite, but it's so iconic. It's great.
You just saw Blake getting interviewed about music videos, and then we went to the Comedy Cellar. We were just on the standby list, and we were the very last people in, which meant that we were in the very front seat. And so we, of course, got made fun of by all the different comics, and they took particular shots at Blake. And then here we have just the beautiful Chrysler building lit up at night on our walk home. So day 2 now. I am standing outside of Cartier with Blake and with the lovely Meredith. We are going to be doing some jewelry shopping this morning before sort of splitting up and doing some different things throughout our group. But really excited to look at pretty jewelry and check in with you guys later. So here we are in the Cartier mansion that was bought for a single strand of pearls and $100 by Cartier way back in the day. And then you're going to see some of the high jewelry. Now Blake and I specifically came to look at the love bracelets, and we worked with the absolutely fantastic Drew, who is actually Lisa from Luxury and Life in the Middle's sales associate client advisor. I'm not sure what Cartier's term is, but we did a lot of playing around just to try and figure out what size Blake and I were. I actually had to go down a size from what Andrew guessed that we were. Blake had to go up a size from what Andrew guessed that we were. And then I played around with figuring out where it was that I would want this bracelet to be placed on my stack and how I felt that it would look. Now, most of the time whenever I've tried these on before, they haven't let me have my Yerman bracelets on. Drew did, and I really appreciated that because I was able to see the full look together, and I was able to try it on and figure out exactly what the placement should be. And here we are with the coordinating love bracelets on. We then went in to David Yurman, of course, because I can't go to New York and not stop in to one of my favorite stores and see the wonderful Jeremy there. And these were just some amazing high jewelry pieces that they had in. And then here you see me trying on just this gorgeous diamond tennis bracelet that I loved because it had such use of positive and negative space in it, giving a lot of depth to the bracelet. This is part of their new zigzag collection, and really liked the double bracelet, but I did try on some of the single bracelets as well. I just felt that they were a little bit too heavy of a look with my overall stack. But I did think it was really interesting on how they even kept the cable detailing there on the underside of the bracelet. Now, these earrings are actually reverse set huggy earrings, but only on one side. So if you want to have the diamond showing, you can. If you want just plain cable, you can do that as well. It was really hard to get good images of how they look on the ears, but I thought they were really interesting. Also really loved this men's necklace. I think it was like titanium or something because it was super, super heavy. Next, we headed into the men's Bergdorf Goodman store because Blake was needing to look for some suits. So here he is trying on a Zenga suit, and he tried on several different suits from that brand. And then eventually we switched over to the Tom Ford suits that you will see in a minute when he's in the full suit look. And really, really loved both brands on him. We ran back to the hotel to change clothes really quick, drop off our purchases, and then we grabbed Shake Shack, which we do really enjoy, so we decided to have it where it all started in New York. And great quick lunch to be able to have, and then to get back out to walking around and enjoying the city some more. We headed over to Rockefeller Center next, and on the way stopped into the Lego store just to see what all interesting displays that they might have going on. And it was just a very fun atmosphere in there. We got lucky and there was absolutely zero line, so we were able to just walk right into the store. And here we are, of course, at the actual Rockefeller Plaza area, and this is where they have the ice rink and the Christmas tree at Christmas time. Obviously right now it is a wonderful summer patio for eating out and enjoying. And Blake walked into J. Crew and tried on their suits, but after having on the super nice Zenga and Tom Ford suits, this one just really wasn't cutting it for us, which is probably not a fair comparison. We then stumbled into this chocolate shop, which is actually where Cartier gets their chocolate from. And while I liked the little chocolate squares from Cartier, I really was not overly impressed with the different chocolates that we tried here in the store. Next, we stopped into Nintendo to pick up some presents for some of our cousins and just some fun little souvenirs to bring them back from the trip. It was a really fun atmosphere. They had a whole tournament area set up and going upstairs, and then they had lots of different examples of all their different gaming systems throughout history. Next, we headed to the Friends experience in New York because I am a massive Friends fan, and there were just so many costumes and props there. They didn't have the real sets, but they had pretty close approximations, which you'll see, and we got to take a lot of photos in there and just have a really fun afternoon enjoying seeing a lot of the Friends memorabilia. then walked around several different parks in the area, which was just really nice, relaxing, and peaceful, and really surprising how many tiny little courtyards and parks that there actually are in the city. Yeah, and then we went to Flame Hibachi for dinner. Now, what I will say about Flame is that it was good. I wouldn't say it was the best hibachi that we've ever had, but it was decent hibachi. And because we don't have great hibachi in our city, it was nice to at least have good hibachi. We spent the evening having another really beautiful walk. You'll see here the Empire State Building, and decided to pop into Times Square to the M&M store, again getting another souvenir for a much loved cousin of ours. And the M&M store, it was interesting, but honestly very overpriced. Blake and I then realized that we'd never gotten a picture together in Times Square, so we took pictures from both perspectives. Now, day 3, this vlog is primarily going to be in my next vlog on Tuesday with all of our pre-loved shopping, because it's just too much to put in this video. But we did go to Prince Street Pizza, which was actually pretty good pizza. I had the vodka pizza, which was the thin crust, and then the 4 cheese was that thicker Sicilian grandma style crust. Both were really good options, but John's is still my favorite. Now, we did go into Sephora, and I was very overwhelmed, so I followed Meredith like a shadow. While we were doing all of this shopping, Blake went and got himself a foot massage at Reflexology. He also got himself another round of Los Tacos Numero 1, which he very much enjoyed and is still talking about now. He then went to Anita's and got gelato and sent pictures, making all of us very jealous as we were riding in our car. And then he went to a Warhammer store as well, before going to several other stores that he wanted to visit in Soho for raw denim. And he did actually pick himself up some modeling things to try his hand at some Warhammer modeling, and we'll see how that goes. All of us got together then for dinner at Wolfgang's, which has some amazing architecture because it used to be a subway station. It was really, really delicious food, but overall, the thing that was really so great about the dinner was just the amazing, wonderful company that we got to share. Now, standout favorites for us, I got the salmon, which was an absolutely delicious salmon. Blake got this massive hunk of filet, which again, he thought was just absolutely a really great filet, a very happy cow. And then the German potatoes were real standouts to us as well. And that's where I'm going to wrap up this vlog. See you guys on Tuesday for Fashion File and other pre-loved shopping.